Okay, so here we are. We're going to start our syrup for this cocktail. When it's all finished, we are going to have to let it cool off. But what we're starting with, if you can see here, is 4 ounces or a half a cup of pomegranate juice and a quarter cup of brown sugar. We're going to put this into my saucepan here. Pomegranate juice, brown sugar. So we packed that brown sugar to make sure that we're getting a full quarter cup. Okay, and then we're just going to turn the heat on here to about medium, and then immediately just take a whisk. And just make sure, we just want to make sure that that sugar is dissolved in there 100%. We don't want any clumps. We don't want any big pieces. We want the sugar and the juice to kind of form a solution together that's even. So as this heats up, it's going to reduce down a little bit. The sugars in the juice, as well as the added sugars, are going to concentrate a little bit more. So if you've never made a syrup before, sort of the mother syrup is going to be simple syrup, which you've probably heard that phrase used a million times. Even your lay bar guest would know that. So regular simple syrup is simply 1 part water to 1 part sugar. You could do 1 cup, 1 gallon, whatever you want to do. Here, we're just using a half a cup of the pomegranate juice to a quarter cup of the brown sugar. It's a 2-to-1 ratio versus 1-to-1. And the reason we're doing that is, there's a lot more sugar in the pomegranate juice versus what would be in water. There's obviously no sugar in water. So if we were to use too much brown sugar, the syrup could end up getting overly sweet. So what we're doing here is just cooking it down. We're going to let it simmer for a few minutes. And once it simmers, we're going to throw it into a container. You can throw it into any kind of Tupperware, if you have a carafe or something. But we're going to throw it into that container and let it cool, because then the syrup will be ready for our drink. Now, if you prefer, I guess, dry is probably not the right word. It's going to be kind of tart and sweet no matter what you do. But if you prefer it to be less sweet, you can obviously add less brown sugar. You can add whatever kind of sugar you like. If you want to make it a honey pomegranate syrup, just use honey. You could use white sugar if that's all you've got around. We're just using the brown sugar because I want to add kind of an earthy tone to this syrup, and just really go for the depth of flavor. But this is kind of a tool you can have in your toolbox. You can use essentially any kind of liquid and any kind of sugar in any kind of proportion, and make your own syrups. If you've ever wondered what, I don't know, orange juice syrup tastes like, I guess you could do that. Use this sort of guide, but just be mindful of how much sugar you're going to be working with in the beginning product towards the end, because maybe you want a heavy syrup, and you want something that's going to be really sweet. Maybe you want something that's going to be balanced. Maybe you want just like something that's going to add a touch of sugar. So here we are. I won't bore you to tears with pontification as we wait for this to reduce, but what's going to happen is this is going to boil. We'll let it simmer. Then we're going to cover it, let it cool, and then from there, we'll be ready to make cocktails. You're just going to need to have some bitters, citrus, syrup, and booze. All right.